Hey everyone, this is Nitro. In this video, I thought I would talk about my The Walking Dead All Stars account after 1 month because I just had my supply run and transfer and so on resets, and so I thought I would talk about the current status and my experience with the game so far. So first of all, I have been purely free to play, and despite that, I think I've been getting my heroes pretty successfully leveled. Now, first of all, I did purely focus my recruitment into the neutral alignment faction. So I would only use the neutral alignment survivor recruits whenever it popped up. So I would be waiting for this to reset to neutral alignments and do the recruits whenever I get those faction alignment tickets. So purely recruiting for neutral alignments, and then of course the all alignment recruit is just whatever. Through that, I was actually able to get my Abraham up to the mythic level. So, and that was interesting because at this point, you just need more and more copies of him to keep leveling up. So from what happened was from Legendary Plus to Mythic, you need 2 Epic Plus copies of that hero. So you need 4 duplicates, and then after that, every star you get, so you can get the hero up to 5 stars, needs an Epic Plus copy of the hero. So in other words, from Legendary Plus to Mythic 5 stars, you need 14 copies of that hero. So it's going to be a bit of a grind to continue to upgrade my Abraham, which is fine. The one thing I definitely regret the most is making this Axel, this legendary Axel. It's a huge regret because Axel is not a great hero. In fact, he is pretty crappy, all things considered, especially if you compare Axel to R, which I've demonstrated in other videos. R just has much better crowd control than Axel does. So this has been a huge, I guess, setback for my party in general as a result, having this Axel in my party. It's definitely limiting my progress in the chapter missions, I feel. Although with that said, I am at chapter 1938, which is pretty far into the game. And yeah, so my primary party that I've been running has been what you saw just now, which was Michonne, Abraham, Axel, Kate, and Magna. The support heroes like Magna don't really need to be high level. Like you can see my Magna's only Epic Plus. Michonne is only Epic Plus as well. But it worked out quite well. So other than that, Kate is my next work in progress. So I need 2 unique plus heroes to upgrade her to legendary plus, and then 4 copies of her. And I'm pretty close to that. If I turn on the green thing, I just need 1 more copy of Rosita to raise Rosita to unique plus. So there is her at unique plus 1 copy of her. So once this is epic plus, which is a second duplicate, this becomes unique plus, and I will feed Rosita into my Kate. And then the other upgrade I'm planning is I just need 1 more epic plus hero of any kind, and I can raise Hudson to unique plus as well. Because Hudson would get fed Gideon plus 1 more to hit unique. Unique upgrade to unique plus needs to duplicate at epic plus, and then that will be done. And then those 2 will feed into Kate to make her legendary plus, and then 1 more copy of Kate will make her to mythic. So just 1 copy of Rosita and 1 duplicate. Okay. It could even be, enough characters to upgrade this guide to epic plus. So like 2 more duplicate guides or whatever would be enough. So that's actually very, very close to happening. So I'm looking forward to that. All it needs is really a Rosita and a Kate. And the other thing is, I do have enough frontier points to trade for a Kate. I'm hoping I don't have to. I'm hoping I get a copy of her, because that way I can continue to get Abraham's here from the frontier store, but we'll see how that goes. One thing about the frontier store is the points for this come in very, very slowly. So you get, I think, from my calculations, it was roughly 1 epic character every 14 days, give or take. Right? So, and that does not include, of course, the Jesus or Negan. So it's every 2 weeks roughly for 150k points. If you want Jesus or Negan, it's probably more. It's closer to a month. So these the recruits from here, from Frontier, are very, very slow. Right? The supply points, given that supply happens once every other day, they also come in fairly slowly, but at least you can get some other characters other than the ones that are available here. So I've been focusing on the neutral faction, so I've been getting Denise's and Gideon's to feed into my other characters, but that may change. Like, namely, I think I really do want to upgrade Beta, and I might get the Andrea too. You can roughly afford 3 heroes here per month. That was what happened for me for the first month. So if I could get some of these alternate options, we'll see what happens. Haven't really made any plans here yet. Transfer. So transfer continues to be the random torn notebook recruits. So whenever I get enough points, 18k, I buy one of these. Not much else you said about it. It's just completely random which epic you get. And the community section is also quite slow, but the key thing is once you've reached a certain point, you can get legendary gear from it. And I've been relying on this to slowly increase my legendary count. I have quite a bit of legendary equipment, but actually most of this equipment was not purchased from the store. I think I might have purchased 1 or 2. Most of it actually came from the survival records. The survival records, if you clear them all, give you quite a bit of legendary equipment, and the other ones that came from the main quest, because you actually get quite a few legendaries as you clear the chapter stages. And also, last but not least, the all alignment camp defenses also can give you some legendary gear. So once you hit them to level 40. So for that one, just quickly bringing it up, the camp defense, I'm on the verge of getting that one too. So 41 here, 51 on the neutral, 45 on the survival of the fittest, which is Predator, and just 37 on the bystander. That's the one that needs 4 more fights, and that will happen on Tuesday. Because Monday is going to be Ally, Tuesday is going to be Bystander, and I'll have that upgraded. Actually, the biggest limiting factor on me clearing those fights is the training ground, because there's only limited slots. So right now, for example, I have 5 Bystander heroes, including Scott, who I've trained up. I have 5 neutral characters, actually 6 neutral characters, as a side note. The Predator faction also has 5, and you can see there is not a single ally character, okay? And that's because I had to remove them, all of my ally characters, so that I could clear the camp defense of the other factions. So ally will kind of be stuck for a while. I need 4 more slots, basically, to be able to clear ally properly. Right. 1 for Glenn, 1 for Shane, probably 1 for Gabrielle, and then a last one for most likely Sophia over Rick. So those would be the 5 I level up. So in that sense, getting 4 additional slots is going to be rough. I've been thinking about this and I just don't know. But yeah, like, cause I don't really want to waste gold bars to buy 4 slots, but it's a very long process. You need lots and lots of processed lumber to keep unlocking slots. So, but yeah, that's the current status with regards to camp defense and so on. Is there anything else worth mentioning? I don't think so. I think I just covered most of the key points here. Just how to unlock, like just steadily upgrade the characters, and yeah. I guess the last key point would be I'm steadily changing to building some Bystander and Predator heroes instead, like, because they have better tanks. Tyrese has that power of immortality that can keep him alive for 4, 6, or 8 seconds, so that's going to be clutch in the later stages from what I've seen. Beta becomes very, very good once he unlocks his legendary gear in terms of a tank as well. So those 2 are definitely being upgraded, and in terms of the bystander support, they do have some stunning characters, so that could be useful. Like, for example, Lake, right? AoE stun of all enemies for 2 seconds. Okay. Chloe also has a stun for 2 seconds in this skill. And finally, Eugene is not a stunner, but he does summon these scarecrows that can taunt enemies and act as kind of, tanks that are summoned. So I see a lot of possibilities for use in the bystander party to support the neutrals that I bring. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on. Much less so for the ally faction. Just a side note. And for those who are interested in seeing what the beta legendary gear is, actually you can very easily go into the leaderboard, click on the legendaries, or click on the predator section, and then typically if you click on like the highest character on your server, they'll have someone with legendary gear on beta, right? And his legendary gear effect is during combat while casting his first ultimate skill, beta cannot die. So as long as your beta survives long enough to use the ultimate, he gets to survive while he's casting that ultimate, which can keep him alive for quite some time, right? Kind of like Tyrese in some ways. Alright, and those are all the key points about the things that I've done in this first month in Cleared. So I hope you found some of that information useful to you. And on that note, Nitro out.